Hello and welcome to our final block for the year, this time on reproductive health in space. This is just a short 2-week mission and the 7th and final of our physiology-based blocks, and will take place during Discovery Weeks 23 and 24. As usual, there's only one spacewalk, so you can work through that at your own pace. We'll be having a meet an expert session. Please check your timetable for details. And if you need to have another look at this video, you can access it any time via Canvas. There is some preparation needed for the tutorial, and we'll be doing a recap from the neuroscience block spacewalk. Please have a look at Canvas for student names, topics, and instructions, and please come along ready to participate in discussion. On the assessment front, you should keep working towards your final ePortfolio reflective piece presentation, the third and final assessment, which is due to be submitted no later than Sunday of week 25, which is actually 1 week after the topic finishes. And the peer review component is due by the Sunday of the following week, which is 2 weeks after the topic conclusion. You're also encouraged to write 2 short reflections for your ePortfolio. The first to supplement your final written report, and a spin-off reflection to support your final assessment. If you have a look at the home page for this block, it's pretty much the same as all the others, with a number of standard drop-down tabs, and then we have the tiles for the tutorial, for the EVA or your learning resources, meet an expert session, and the link for the spin-off materials. The to-do list is there with your tasks and the key dates. And for inspiration this time, we're thinking about our favourite space-related music, and then the standard extension resources are there for your use if interested. In terms of the spacewalk, this is set out in the customary fashion with the drop-down tabs. The learning outcomes are to understand the impact of microgravity on female and male reproductive function, the impact of space radiation on reproductive function, identifying gender-based differences in the response to spaceflight, understanding the importance of the management of birth control, menstruation, and gynecological issues, being aware of a range of practical challenges facing reproduction in space, and appreciate why ethical considerations are important in discussing reproduction in space. The learning resources are organised into 2 accordions for you. The first one is a series of expert video presentations and panel discussions, all of which are very interesting. And then the second accordion is a set of readings and journal articles. The abstracts are there, as well as all the links, so you can have a look and decide which ones you would like to read in full. There's a Padlet to think about the things that you've learned from this block and reflect on these questions. As usual, there are 3 specific questions and 3 general questions, and I encourage you to put some thoughts on Padlet to share with your fellow students. And for review, we have a fun crossword for you to fill in. And then in terms of extra resources, there's the University Library book list, some additional articles, and also some additional videos. For our Meet an Expert session, we are very fortunate to have Dr. John Stella, who is one of the leading US experts on reproductive health in space, and you will find his biography on the Canvas site, and please check your timetable for details about the date and the Zoom link. And also there's the access link for tutorials and the follow-up discussion Padlet. Just to remind you about the spin-offs tile and the list of resources which are there to help you, particularly with your third assignment, but also just generally to think about the translational research aspects of the research that's carried on in space and how it can help life and particularly health here on Earth. With our tutorial, we'll be starting with our final inspirational video for the year, which is looking at future exploration of Mars, then undertaking the recap for the neuroscience block. So the allocations or instructions are there on Canvas, small group discussion, and then finally the debrief, both for the neuroscience block and the year-long mission as a whole. For the small group discussion, we have 4 interesting questions this time to think about how generational evolutionary principles would apply to humans who live and work in deep space or on other celestial bodies. What might a person who's born in deep space or on the Moon or Mars experience on entering the 1G environment of Earth? Why is the issue of access to appropriate types and standards of medical care important when discussing obstetrics, gynecology and paediatrics? And finally, what social determinants of health might be difficult to provide for children in space? So I'll give you a chance to talk through those questions in your small groups and then to come back and share your thoughts with the whole group. And there's a Padlet there for you to record your thoughts if that would be helpful. And lastly, the debrief. As mentioned, this will cover both the neuroscience block and also the year-long mission as a whole. So please think if there's any feedback that you would like to share, because this will be the last opportunity to do that. And lastly, once you have successfully completed all the mission tasks, please go back to the home page at the start of the subject, have a look at the uniform tab, and there you'll be able to download and then customize your certification of successful mission completion. So that's just a little souvenir that you can take away with you. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that you enjoy our final block.